Bam, good. Friday, August 1st, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Hat and Beard Show. You're tuned in. Thanks for tuning in and telling a friend. That's what I appreciate you. We got a couple of stories today before we talk about, well, what happened last night, guys. And I know we're running a little behind. But after what transpired last night at the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio, I don't know about any of you guys, but I had to swing by a podiatrist before stopping by a proctologist on our way to an orthopedic surgeon because I had to stop and see what it was going to be involved to have Trey Lance's foot removed from my asshole. Holy hell. What the fuck? Look, the reality of the situation is luckily it was the preseason, right? And I get the vibe that Dan Campbell and the gang, Dan and the boys aren't going to put too much weight into what went down, right? It's preseason, week 1, right? We got 90 guys on the roster. We're trying to figure out who's going to be where, how they're going to work out. And this is it was rusty. It was gross. It was ugly. I'm going to be honest, right from the opening rip, I didn't understand why Grant Stuard was returning kickoffs, but it started off ugly, and it was just as I like to say, a cascading series of failures, top to bottom. But before we talk about the Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Chargers, we will talk about Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry, a foundationary piece, a elite wide receiver. I'm going to be honest. Scary Terry is an elite wide receiver in the NFL. Requests a trade. So we're going to poke around at some top landing spots for the wide receiver to exit amid stalled contract talks, right? You guys know I got to appease the national news media algorithm. Before we talk about what we're all here to talk about, and that is sloppiness stings momentum. We're going to give out some grading Lions performances in the Hall of Fame game against the Los Angeles Chargers. Right off the rip, I mean, we're going to be in some hot dog water if anything happens to JG16 for MVP. You know what I'm saying? If Jared Goff goes down, we are in bad news if we're expected to roll with either Kyle Allen, who, at first it looked like he was letting it rip pretty well, but what the hell happened to him and Hendon Hooker? Hendon Hooker could be the MVP of the UFL if he just put his mind to it. You know what I'm saying? Then we're going to go ahead and our boy Tim 20man at DetroitLions.com. Lions Chargers Hall of Fame game observations. This is going to be kind of our nitty-gritty, sort of what you guys are all, those of us that watched it, it's going to be what we've seen, and it's just going to be a lot of confirmation bias. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a lot of the same stuff where we're like, hey, this one thing looked good. The rest of it looked like dog water. And then over at Sideline Report, we have Lions have painfully obvious roster moves to make after Hall of Fame game. The quarterback play was rusty, to say the least. So I'm pretty sure we all seen the same stuff. Excuse me, fellas. Sorry about that. With the windows open, the allergies are going bananas right now. But we need to figure out something here, and that is the backup position for Jared Goff, because last night was it was brutal. It was brutal. I think it was worse than any of us were expecting it to be. I was hoping to see competition in the inverse direction that we've seen for the quarterbacks. Like, I wanted to see a elevated level of play. Instead, what we've seen out of the Detroit Lions between Kyle Allen and Hendon Hooker was a race to the bottom. Who could suck worse? Who? Now, maybe maybe their plan is to just embrace the suck. Maybe that's the move here. But something tells me that neither one of them anticipated the game to go the way they did, and it looked like they were actually giving it their all. And if they were giving it their all, then we're come on now, Hendon Hooker, come on now. And if we have time, we'll get to Dan Campbell's presser after the game, kind of see what he had to say. But before we do, guys, we do have a poll, a little interaction for you up here. We got 6 votes, 9 of you hanging out already. That's what's up. Good morning, everybody. Who, if any, impressed you last night? I figure the options I gave you were kind of what we all probably seen. Big fan of what we've seen out of our boy Rock Ya-Sin. Okay, I think Rock Ya-Sin just yesterday alone totally solidified himself to being that number 3 cornerback spot. I think we've seen Enos the Penis Rakestraw take a huge step back. All right, he might even be, dare I say, cut candidate material. He was getting cooked by a 5th rounder. Right, Rock Ya-Sin was able to make some good open field tackles, but that's what you expect out of a veteran of his caliber. You know what I'm saying? Were you impressed by Isaac Teslaa? He's kind of walking away with it, 43% of the vote. He had a couple of just nice catches, and what was more impressive by the catches was the burst after the catch, the speed, the top-end speed, sneaky speed, right? White guy speed, sneaky speed. You don't expect sneaky speed out of a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? And he was impressive. I liked what I seen out of him. I hate to just continuously make this Cooper Kupp comparison, but when you're taken where you were by Brad Holmes, you're his favorite wide receiver in the draft, and you go out and you start performing like that right out of the rip. What do you expect out of me, bud? What do you expect of me? Did you like Dominic Lovett, the late round pick out of Georgia? Went too early and often throughout the game. In fact, I think Lovett, Teslaa, and one of the other rookies were the only wide receivers to catch balls. Lovett also utilized a little bit in the punt return game. What do you feel about that? Did you like that? He's coming in with 14% of the vote. And then in second place with 29% of the vote, you were most impressed by AOC's Tatas. Let's go! Our favorite big booty Latina, that big booty Latina, our juicy big booty Latina AOC. Let's go. Guys, it is the Hat and Beard Show. You're an attentive audience, and I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. That's what we love about you. If you couldn't do me a favor, go ahead and press all my bells and ring my buttons. Go ahead and assault that like button. Hit it with 2 pieces and a biscuit on the way down to the share button, the most important button that you can possibly wiggle and tickle on my channel. And that is share this around with all your friends. Go ahead and just share it around. Or if you don't want Nana to know that you're a fan of the Hat and Beard Show, go ahead and just copy that link down on the clipboard below. The algorithm can't tell the difference on your way over there. Just slide on over just to the right. To the right. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Ring that notification bell so you can be notified every time we go live Monday. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. This is our first week, 5 days a week. How does it feel, boys and girls? Fellas, do you enjoy Hat and Beard 5 days a week, dude? Is it what you wanted? Is it everything that you expected to be and more? Or is it much like the relationship that my girlfriend didn't know she was getting into, and it's just kind of meh? I'm just kidding. So, good morning, everybody. We got everyone in the chat. Sam, Lion King, Joe Leonarchus. Morning. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Hey, bro, respectfully, y'all's defense looked like Swiss cheese last night. Respectfully, you are correct, my friend. Our defense looked like Shahid. But, you know, as Lions fans, look, there was some bright spots. Rock Ya-Sin, hey! Lauren Strickland, boo. I know it's preseason week 1, but hey, the Egyptian magician had some flash. Our boy had some flash. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And Enos the Penis Rakestraw, boop, big drop back. Wasn't impressed by Boodle either. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about it, dude. No disrespect taken when you're, dude, look here. Joe, if you're still in the chat, brother, listen, check this out, man. Here at the Hat and Beard Show, we live by a pretty hardline rule, and that is, it ain't talking shit if it's true, brother. And you're just spitting facts, dude. So I appreciate you coming here and being honest with us, dude. You know what I'm saying? Let's fucking go. Lion King, I envision Hooker as our black hope, but the new breed black QB like Daniels, but no. What's up, Lion King? Oh, my guy. Spitting facts. Let's be real. Hendon Hooker is not him. I'm telling you, Hendon Hooker could be the MVP of the UFL. Our backups are terrible, says Sam. It's been 5 years. Is it Brunel's fault they can't develop a QB other than Goff? You know, that is a good point, Sam. Have we ever had, and now, you don't really want to be having such a good backup quarterback that you end up with competition, right? Because if you have more than one, you have none. You know what I'm saying? At least that's my old mentality. But we've never had a reliable backup. Teddy Bridgewater was our best backup that we had, and he was well over the bridge. Oh, I told you by the end of the week we get goofy with it, but we've never had strong backup quarterback play. Mr. Detroit C, how you doing, brother? You sorry you're late. No worries, my guy. You're out there making that money, still painting out on a ladder. Lucky you. I bet it's nice and warm down there. It is a balmy. Actually, I don't even know if it's 60 degrees here in Michigan right now, but it is nice. We want 7 days a week. I don't know if I could do 7 days a week, dude. I would be annoyed with myself if I went 7 days. You guys need to have a couple days break, right? I mean, come on now. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. You know what I'm saying? A couple of days without hat and beard, a little adversity. Good. Makes you appreciate it even more when I'm here with you. You know what I'm saying? 5 days for sure, Sam. That's what's up, guys. I appreciate it. As a former Goff hater after last night, he looks good to me. Hey, Lion King. Dude, that's what, look, man. Look, guys, look. Okay, I'm going to be very honest with you all. You can go back and see the video footage. Early on with Goff's tenure with Detroit, I was not a Goff guy. I wasn't a Goff guy. I was not a Goff guy early on. But now I am. You guys know here we are a Jared Goff truther around here. This is a Jared Goff truther channel. JG16 for MVP. You know what I'm saying? So now that you guys have rang all of my bells and buttons, taking a little looky-loo over at the poll, 8 votes already. Tesla's now tied with AOC's Tatas. Holy crap! Let's go, AOC's Tatas. Let's go. Mike Kimber is up at 86,000 subs. Wow. Mr. Detroit City's got 86K. Dude, he's probably the largest single Lions content creation station outside of like the bigger player like Woodward or anyone who's got a larger backing like that. Dude, that's nuts. Dude, I remember when he was Micro Mike, dude. He's probably one of the first guys I watched for a long time. Some live streams that get him. All right, guys, now that we've done it all, let's get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
Yeah, that gets me so ramped up. Let's go. I know last night sucked, guys, but it was preseason week 1. Come on now. We can't get that hung up on it. Come on now. We're good. Let's talk about this Terry McLaurin nonsense. Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry. Requested trade after contracts negotiations have stalled with the Washington Commies. Terry McLaurin said earlier this month he wanted to stay with the Washington Commies. Now the star wide receiver is angling to play elsewhere, requesting a trade from the team on the day of the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame game, as ESPN reported. And real quick, talk about an awesome draft class, right? Like Musburger aside, not too wild about Sterling Sharp. Could take him or leave him. I think not necessarily the... Can you tell the story of the NFL without him? Yes. But because his brother did so much and meant so much, and then also Shannon's speech kind of gave it a little bit more torque because it was such an impactful speech. You can't really tell the story of the NFL without Sterling Sharp. However, Jared Allen, let's go. Jared Allen, I know he played for the Vikings and that sucked, but Jared Allen, let's go. And most deservedly so. Antonio Gates. I think I am the most pleased. Now, this is how I know I'm getting old. When I'm watching my childhood heroes from football be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Antonio Gates, though, the only player in Canton to not play college football. And he leads all tight ends in the history of the NFL with touchdown catches. Come on now. That's pretty cool, man. Antonio Gates, that's pretty cool, dude. That's pretty cool. The Pro Bowl pass catcher told reporters prior to training camp that he was, quote, disappointed and frustrated. I am disappointed and I am frustrated over a lack of productive contract talks with team brass. McLaurin, who skipped the commies mandatory camp from the commies, indicated he was also prepared to extend his holdout without any progressive discussions related to a new deal. He said, it's kind of hard to see how I step on the field for Washington. And now apparently he's taken that stance a step further. McLaurin, who is technically signed through 2025, reportedly sandwiched those comments of frustration between a stated desire to resolve differences in Washington. Look, fuck you. I want to resolve it, but fuck you. Yes, there you go. That's how you do it. 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Your contract negotiations ain't going to get real far like that. It's also hard to envision the commies doing anything but ultimately meeting McLaurin's financial demands, given their win-now approach around quarterback Jaden Daniels. Still, the wideout appears justified in his efforts to seek a pay raise, as his $23.2 million average annual value now ranks outside the top 15 at his position. And Terry McLaurin is probably a top 8 wide receiver. And this is, however, where Washington, the commies, commies, not so good at the money management, right? Not so good at understanding how finances work. It's traditionally not their strong suit, right? However, look, when you have a quarterback on a rookie scale contract, you win now. You got to pay the guys now. The reason that you have the rookie scale contract is so that you can pay the team around him so that you can win now. It's leveraging elite play at a sub-elite contract scale at the quarterback spot. Because once that rookie, if Jaden Daniels doesn't Robert Griffin III himself while playing in the commies uniform, right? He's going to get a fat-ass payday, whether Washington wants to pay him or not, because once he's proved himself outside of that rookie scale contract, big payday's coming. You know what I'm saying? Pay Terry McLaurin, build around him. They have a good combination between the two. You know what I'm saying? Terry McLaurin, and he's worth it, dude. I'm telling you, Terry McLaurin is legit worth. Is Terry McLaurin worth Amon-Ra money, or is Terry McLaurin just outside of Amon-Ra money? Oh, Sam, damn, I just happened to look up, dude. Sam, yeah, our starters were wide-eyed looking at our report, at our backups like, oh, no, we can't get injured. On the off chance, general manager Adam Peters grants McLaurin's request to field offers, perhaps as part of a trade, another wideout to pair with offseason addition Deebo Samuel. These clubs could be top suitors. So they're thinking right here, this is coming to us from CBS Sports. This is just their speculation, right? I could give a shit less where Scary Terry goes. Who needs a wide receiver? Who needs wide receiver help? Lots of teams. Any team outside of a stacked wide receiver room, like the Lions per se. This is just the team that comes to mind because I'm a Lions fan. Don't jump at me, commies fans, or anybody else. I just know the Lions. Unless you're stacked like the Lions are at wide receiver, any team should be making a swing, New England, for Scary Terry services. You know what I'm saying? This is something of a make-or-break year for Shane Steichen's offense, and all signs point to the Colts leaning on a combination of Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson under center. That spells trouble. Perhaps the best way to offset that predicament is by further stocking the cupboard out wide, especially with not a ton of resources devoted to the quarterback spot. Washington might only move McLaurin if it can get veteran help in return. So it's also possible Indy would throw another wideout back to DC to facilitate a deal. So Indianapolis, look, bodies. Do bodies work? Do bodies work for the trade, or do we want to do? Are the commies going to want draft capital? Do bodies work in this trade deal? Good morning, Broski Bear. Debo is washed and McLaurin is still good. Chiefs could use him. That's the next team on the list is the Chiefs, and let's be honest, this is a type of move that the Chiefs are probably going to end up being the team to make. You know what I'm saying? They have the capital. It's a mutually beneficial exchange of probably draft capital and or bodies. McLaurin gets a team that gives him a much better chance at winning a Super Bowl, pairs him with the Hall of Fame caliber Patrick Mahomes. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes and Chris Collinsworth, did you guys notice that I didn't hear him bring up Patrick Mahomes even once? If anything, he glazed Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson more than he did Patrick Mahomes. Maybe Chris Collinsworth has finally gotten off the Patrick Mahomes dopamine there. You know what I'm saying? But, yes, so Broski Bear, good morning, dude. Yeah, that's the team that's brought up here is the Kansas City Chiefs. They could, the reigning AFC champions aren't flush with extra cap space, and they're prepared to dig through the bargain bin to outfit Patrick Mahomes' receiving core, throwing draft pick darts and rental deals on guys like Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Marquise Brown, and Juju. With at least 3 of those receivers already hurt or still recovering from injury, might Andy Reid and Brent Veach look to make a splash for a ready-made weapon? You can bet Mahomes wouldn't turn this down. He's admitted he'd like to bring the downfield ball back into the Chiefs' attack. Hey, cats! Yo, I ain't gonna lie, guys. I got cat. This is the most. I don't know why. Bjorn. Hey, come on, dude. Thank you. My cats are, for whatever reason, they're like mad up in my office today. They're never up in here, but both the boys are like mad up in here just fucking around, dude. I mean, it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? But they're just like in here mad fucking around. The Las Vegas Raiders are the Raiders one wideout away from contending? Nope, but they're a smooch bandit away. Oh, what a fucking weirdo. Probably not, but when you turn the keys over to a 34-year-old quarterback and a 73-year-old coach, you're clearly interested in making the most of 2025, and they could use a pass-catching complement to complement for star at tight end Brock Bowers. Better yet, they have money to offer McLaurin, boasting $37 million in remaining salary cap space, plus a whopping $99 million next year. The Chargers could be another team. We watched them play yesterday. They need somebody outside of Ladd McConkey. But, if that 5th-round pick they got, who absolutely torched Enos the Penis last night, then that might be a good spot for him. The Jets also a landing spot, as Justin Fields needs a lot of help, though Garrett Wilson is a top-end wide receiver, and they just paid him a shitload of money. Possibly they got $30 million left in cap space, but I don't know, man. I don't know if at this point, if that's a move that someone like Aaron Glenn's willing to make. I don't know how he structures his coaching style. And then the 49ers, a team, because they're just going to do the old swapperoo. Just swapperoo, even though Brandon Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall are on roster. They're both injured. So McLaurin would be a plug-and-play starter, and perhaps the commies could still get a quality veteran wideout, such as Juan Jennings, as a part of the move. That would be an interesting little flippy flop there. Though, let's be real, the Chefs are probably the team. The Kansas City Chefaroos seem to be the ideal destination that any wide receiver would want to go to. Let's be real, Patrick Mahomes. Also, Scary Terry McLaurin does bring that downfield threat that Patrick Mahomes really wants to bring back into the game, even though Xavier Worthy could do that. We haven't really necessarily, why gamble on something that you're like, still, when you could just go and go, you know what I mean? And get Terry McLaurin, you know what I mean? Well, enough of this nonsense, enough of this national news media bullshit. Let's talk about what we're really here to talk about, guys. If you haven't already, press all my bells and buttons, do all the things. Make sure you engage in the poll. We got It's 10 votes so far. Look at you guys go. Everybody's engaged. Who, if any, impressed you last night? Rockyason, Isaac Teslaa, Dominic Lovett, or AOC's Tatas? Isaac Teslaa has 40% of the vote. 20% of the vote going to Rockyason. 10% to Dominic Lovett. I love it, actually. I did like what I seen out of Lovett. And then coming in second place, the dark horse candidate, our favorite big booty, juicy Latina, AOC's Tatas with 30% of the vote. Morning, Brent. How you doing? Teddy Bridgewater, that's kind of... we got to figure out something at quarterback. We're going to get there, though, bud. We're going to get there. We'll talk about quarterback in a little bit here. Hey, Art. Good morning, brother. My favorite is all the other team fans strutting into Lions chats to say the Lions are trash. They got to get it because they know the hammer is coming. Well, that's just it. Like, okay. Last night, I was watching the game as much as I could while I was at work. I'm going to sneeze here in a minute, guys, so just give me a second. I'm trying to fight it off, but it's coming. Excuse me. The one thing that I took away from yesterday's game is, oh, look at you. The Los Angeles Chargers second and third stringers can beat up on our practice squad players. Okay? That should happen. That's how that should. That game was over from the get-go, Sam. Oh, thank you, Art. I appreciate it, man. My allergies have been going a little bananas, dude. Yeah, it just is what it is. Yeah, Sam, dude, that opening kickoff, I was like, first I was why is Grant Stuard returning kicks? What the fuck is going on, right? And then when he fumbled, I was just like, oh, it's going to be one of those games. And then I'm going to be honest, not to sound like, you know, sour grapes or whatever, but the refs weren't even trying to do us no favors. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple of bullshit little things that's like, come on now. Come on now. Now, it was a sloppy-ass game, and that's what this article here has to say. So now that you guys have subscribed and done all the things and shared this around from SI Lions, Lion grades sloppiness stings momentum, grading the Lions Hall of Fame game against the Chargers. Go ahead and pause this. Rewind it. So we'll hear Hassanin expresses gratitude after NFL debut. Thursday night marked the return of NFL football, and the Detroit Lions were on center stage. Detroit traveled to Canton, Ohio to take on the Los Angeles Chargers in the annual Hall of Fame game. It was a rough outing for Dan Campbell's team as the Chargers looked much more efficient and dominated the Lions 34-7. Here are the grades. Quarterback. Woo! Strong outing with a strong D. Neither of the Lions' two competitors for the backup job behind Jared Goff inspired much confidence Thursday as Kyle Allen and Hendon Hooker couldn't get the offense into any sort of consistency or rhythm. Allen threw an early pick on an out route that was undercut by Nico Reed. It was also, look, Kyle Allen. Here's the thing, bud. First of all, he grossly underthrew that ball, okay? And Kyle Allen has this bad habit of he breaks the huddle. He walks to the line of scrimmage, and he looks at who he's going to throw the ball to, and he just stares at him. And he just stares at him. And he gets under center, and he's staring at the guy who's going to throw the ball to, and he stares at him, and he stares at him, and then he snaps the ball. And he doesn't look off the fucking defender. He just stares at the guy like a fucking idiot. He just stares at the guy who he's going to throw the ball to. So not only do the DBs just need to read your fucking eyes and watch where the play's going, but when you underthrow the ball by like 6 fucking yards on an out route, that's going to get picked off every single time. Every single time. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened on Kyle Allen's first interception. You know what I'm saying? Hooker struggled as well, producing just 3 total first downs in 4 drives. Bravo. Great, excellent execution, Hendon Hooker. You've really taken that step. His previous bouts of inconsistency reared their ugly head as he appeared hesitant, and his timing was off. His first series ended with an ugly miss, where he threw into the middle of the field in the direction of multiple Chargers defenders with no intended Lion in sight. Now, I will admit that before Kyle Allen started throwing interceptions, he did have a couple of nice throws, right? The first drop of the game by Dominic Lovett. Allen really zinged it in there, He really zipped it in there into a nice tight window. Lovett just, didn't come down with it. And when Kyle Allen actually tries to throw the ball, when he tries to put some zip on it, it's there. The problem is every time I watch Kyle Allen throw, it hurts. I can feel him like you know that Kyle Allen, when he throws the ball and tries to put some spin on it, he throws it and he goes, eh. You know what I'm saying? Like, eh. Because he's just trying, he's got to get it there. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee product had his last pass picked off when the ball was wrestled away from Dominic Lovett. Little clarity was gained in this position battle, and next week's matchup against Atlanta will be the opportunity for both to move past Thursday's struggles. Let's hope. Let's hope they pick up that JG16 brain and are able to have a short memory, because that was ugly. That was ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were to roll with, say, I'm gonna be honest, Hendon Hooker shouldn't be in the league. That's how bad he played. He is a UFL caliber quarterback. Kyle Allen, just from what I seen last night, I know it's preseason week 1. Kyle Allen right now has a ceiling of Sam Darnold when Sam Darnold played for the New York Jets. That's how good Kyle Allen could be. He could be as good as Sam Darnold was when he played for the Jets. That's the caliber of quarterback you're getting. That's what watching Kyle Allen play, that's what I thought. I was like watching fucking Sam Darnold with the Jets, dude. Running backs, C+. Without Sione Vaki or Kyle Robichaux and both of the starters not in action. The first half was surprisingly an opportunity for Craig Reynolds to shoulder plenty of work. Despite his status as an established third option, he toted the rock 10 times for 38 yards and our lone touchdown. That's right, Craig. Old Netflix, Mr. Reliable. You know what I'm saying? Not going to be the most productive guy, but you know what? You know what you're getting with him. You're getting 10 touches for 40 yards and a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? The lack of overall depth at the position necessitated this, as Jabari Small and Jacob Sailors, who I'm very excited about. He was flashy in the UFL. Jacob Sailors could usurp that third running back spot. I'm telling you guys, Jacob Sailors is a very, very good running back. They're both fairly new to the organization. Small signed leading up to camp, while Sailors joined the organization on Tuesday, so not expected. You expect him to say, I think he had 2 carries. Yeah, 2 carries for 6 yards. So Small had 11 carries for 35 yards, as equally as productive as Craig Reynolds, which is not very, right? Which is not very productive, you know what I mean? While Sailors contributed 2 carries for 6 yards, Sailors could be a player to watch in the coming weeks, especially if Vaki or Robichaux aren't healed enough to play, as well as he was an all-UFL player with the St. Louis Battlehawks. I'm telling you, Jacob Sailors is He's kind of the guy to watch, dude. Wide receivers get a C-. Okay, a C-. There was, look, I liked what I seen out of Teslaa. I really liked it. From what I seen out of Isaac Teslaa, the only advantage right now that Tim Patrick has 2 advantages over Isaac Teslaa is that third wide receiver spot, in my opinion. Okay. And that is familiarity with the offense and familiarity with Jared Goff. Those are the same advantages that Khalif Raymond has as well. But I would be plugging the rookie in as much as I can. Isaac Teslaa is a special player. Isaac Teslaa will be a special player for the Detroit Lions in this league. Mr. Detroit City, Isaac Teslaa could be the reason why J-Mo doesn't re-sign with the Detroit Lions. Plenty of eyes were on the Lions receiving core in Thursday's game, as the position group boasts 2 intriguing draft picks in Isaac Teslaa and Dominic Lovett. Both players got multiple opportunities, with Lovett being the most targeted receiver of the night. Lovett had an early drop on a dig route over the middle, but rebounded to show some nice wiggle. Got a little Mr. Wiggle, little wiggle in him on his first catch. Having the ball ripped away on a late-game interception was not a great moment, but he had a nice chain-moving catch in the 4th and short. That's right, he did have a nice little 4th and short, and, I did think the way that he broke the route off just to get past the chains was smart, because in the event of a penalty, you know what I'm saying, you still had that opportunity, whereas if they'd have gone for the touchdown, you know what I'm saying, it could have just been a turnover on downs, you know what I'm saying? He finished with 5 grabs for 31 yards. Teslaa, sorry, I got to pronounce it right. Teslaa, meanwhile, had back-to-back 20-plus yard catches. His speed was on display, particularly on his first catch, with his size, as was his size, when he finished the catch and run with a shoulder into a defender midsection. However, he got bumped off of what appeared to be a fade route and led to an errant throw and interception later on in that drive. But he did try to do everything he could. I mean, he was trying to get to that ball. If that defender hadn't been there, he still could have made a diving catch. The only receiver to catch a pass in the game was Jackson Meeks, who hauled in a 5-yard catch on his only target. There's Isaac Teslaa. That's a hard-running Jesse right there. Tight ends got a C. The Lions relied on Shane Zylstra for most of the night as their leading traditional tight end, but there were fullback packages that belonged to undrafted free agent Zach Horton. The Indiana product showed he can handle it and could be an extended role in this team's play-action game next week. Kenny Yeboah went down with an injury at the end of the third quarter, but he returned to the game in the early fourth. Aside from Sam Laporta and Brock Wright, the Lions don't have any other depth than the 3 that played the position on Thursday. Offensive line got a C-. Not the best play. The offensive line was spotty on Thursday, as the group of backups were able to generate time for Allen and Hooker, but were inconsistent overall. Reynolds averaged just under 4 yards a carry, which is promising, but there were some issues. Hooker took 2 sacks, one which he was scrambling around, and the other when he evaded 1 sack and tried to get away from the rush, but couldn't. Giovanni Manu was inserted late in the first half on the left side and was serviceable, but consistency remains to be desired. Of note, your friendly neighborhood Dan Skipper did leave the stadium in a walking boot and reportedly is dealing with a low ankle sprain. If he's forced to miss time, there could be first-team reps available for either Manu or Jamarco Jones, who didn't play terribly, if Taylor Decker isn't ready to return for practice. Defensive line, where we got absolutely owned. The Lions' run defense was somewhat knocked around as the likes of Kamani Vidal, Naeem Miller-Hines, and Hassan Haskins were able to create chunk plays. The red zone with quarterback Trey Lance gave Detroit some fits, such as the second quarter when Vidal had a big run to the left, which Mitchell Agude was flat-footed in the backfield. Chargers first-round pick Amarian Hampton also made an early impact with an 8-yard run on his first touch. Rookie Ahmed Hassani narrowly missed a sack in the first half and had some other opportunities. It's clear his motor will be an asset, but there's still some room for him to develop before he can contend to contribute in the regular season. Yes, he's got the motor. He's got that motor. He's got the drive. Just gotta just kind of target it. You gotta quit trying to be a big splash, and you gotta hone it in, brother. You gotta zero in your ordnance. You gotta reload, recalibrate, re-engage. Linebackers getting a C. Grant Stuart had the Lions' only sack, and there were some bright spots within what was one of the deepest position groups on the Detroit roster. Zeke Turner paced the group with 7 combined tackles, while Anthony Pittman had 6, including 2 tackles for losses. Pittman did kind of jump off a little bit on the screen there, you know what I'm saying? Perhaps Detroit's best play of the night was Pittman blowing up a third-quarter screen pass, shooting through untouched to level the running back. Trevor Nowitzki added 5 combined tackles, but drew an early penalty. The Lions have plenty of options at this position, and the position group behind a solid trio should do wonders for the team's confidence in their depth. Yes, our linebacker room is a stronger room than we have, quietly a stronger room than most teams have. We have incredibly strong starters. Jack Campbell's going to be Brian Urlacher of the NFC North. I'm telling you right fucking now, Jack Campbell's going to be him. But then we do have solid depth pieces behind them. The secondary, not so great. Not so great. I did like what we've seen out of Rock Ya-Sin, Medinas Rakestraw, and Boodle. Not so great. Detroit's secondary has a chance to be a major asset with the addition of DJ Reed and 2 all-pro caliber safeties. However, that was not the case on Thursday with those players on the sidelines. Trey Lance diced up the defense, particularly when targeting KLS. That sounds weird to say. Trey Lance diced up the defense. Lambert Smith beat Enos the Penis Rakestraw deep for a big gain in the first quarter, then beat DiCaprio Boodle for a touchdown in the second quarter. Rakestraw, illegal use of hands, and Boodle pass interference both drew penalty whistles. Despite the issues, the Lions did have some players step up. Tyson Russell did a good job defending a fade in the end zone to force an incompletion, while Ian Kennelly suplexed a running back in the second half. Ian Kennelly, he came in with the lumber, dude. That's a man that wants to play. That's a man that wants to play ball. And the special teams getting an F, and if we could get even lower than an F, special teams was not special. The Lions made a pair of uncharacteristic gaffes on special teams that led directly to Chargers points. First, Grant Stuard fumbled the opening kickoff to set up a touchdown. Then, in the second half, Jacoby Kene-James muffed a punt standing inside the Lions' 10-yard line. That was a very bad punt return situation. That was honestly, okay, so probably what I think was happening was a guy wanting to make a play, but just not having the right decision-making skills. He just didn't have the right skill set to be making that type of a decision in that type of moment. He was trying too hard to make a play. Detroit also committed 2 penalties on kicks, one being that Jake Bates kicked the ball short of the landing zone, and the other coming when Lovett was the first player to touch a punt after running out of bounds. Special teams coordinator Dave Phipp will certainly have his share of frustrations with the uncharacteristic errors, but Lovett and Stewart do offer some intrigue as returners, as both players had nice returns throughout the night. Yes, Lovett. Dominic Lovett's going to push Khalif Raymond for that utility wide receiver spot. And the coaching gets a D+. Working with a group of depth players is challenging for the staff, but they were clearly out-schemed. In the first showcase for both coordinators, the defensive line struggled to get pressure while the offense couldn't get in rhythm. Additionally, the Lions had to burn timeouts at times offensively due to not being aligned correctly with the third-team offense. These procedural issues are unacceptable. While the Lions are indeed starting camp early and have an extra preseason game to work out the issues, the Chargers were simply more ready than Detroit was on Thursday. Yes, they were. Their second and third stringers were much more prepared and ready to play than our third and practice squad players. They beat it. Good job. Your backups beat up on our practice squad. Congrats. Grazie. Congrats. Yep. All right. So no lies there. There's nothing but cold hard facts, dude. And to quote the little guy from the Daily Wire, those are the facts, and the facts don't care about your feelings. What do you guys think, huh? Let's take a look at the chat here. That game was over from the get-go. It was 14-0 with 3 minutes in. Yeah, Sam, it was stupid early on. Picked off an undrafted free agent and almost took it to the house. Yep. Picked off by but now, to be honest, dude, that undrafted free agent, I guess he's been really impressing in camp. I can't remember the guy's name. Yeah, we did lose to the Giants 14-3 last preseason. You're right, Art. Hell yeah. I'm not pressing the panic button on the team. I'm pressing the panic button on the backup quarterback spot. I'm pressing the panic button on some of the special teams decisions. Allen is trash, and Hooker looked more like a third-string QB. I'm officially concerned. Yeah, Brent, I am too. J-Mo is dumb. Can't wait till he's gone. I know, Mr. Detroit City. I know, dude. You're probably a huge Teslaa fan then now, huh? Love had a terrible game also. Sam, he didn't have a great game. There were some flashes. Dominic Lovett looks like when he gets his hands on the ball could have a little bit of special to him, a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of flash, but not a guy that you're going to be, not a guy that we're glad we have to rely on to produce this year. How's that? Hooker should be playing with the twos next game. I'm hoping he looks better than last night. I'm hoping Hendon Hooker ends up signing with the Michigan Panthers here this morning. Hooker should have started. They drafted him and they picked Allen up. Sam, you're right, but it's bad to say that when you're comparing, a room full of short bus kids, it's hard to say like, oh yeah, Josh Allen's better than Hendon Hooker. They both suck. You know what I'm saying? When he dropped that, I was like, you're cut. Yeah, dude, it was a pretty bad drop. It was a bad drop because, like I said, Kyle Allen put it in that tight little window for him. It would have been a nice little play. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the backup centers, Brent. Brent says the one bright spot was the backup centers didn't look terrible. They didn't look awful, but still not something I want to be hanging my hat on. It'd be nice if we could have had Miles Frazier around just to see where he would kind of rotate into the reserve role. Just because I don't think JMO's a competent human who will contribute in many aspects long term doesn't mean I think Brad spending 3 picks on him is right either. Fair. That's fair. Brad Picks needs to show up big time. I'm talking about the picks where he traded up. Well, it's pretty much everybody, though, outside of Hutch and Penne. I guess we traded down to get JMO, or Jameer, and Jack Campbell we sat at. So, yeah, we do move around, but most of the time they produce. I hate to say it, Mr. Detroit City. This is where I got to stand on my statement, dude, on my pick. JMO's going for 1,600 yards this year, dude. 1,600 for sure. All right, we got 13 votes in the poll. Who, if any, impressed you last night? Rock Yassin coming in at 15%. Isaac Teslaa with 54%. Dominic Leva with 8%. And AOC's Tatas with 23% of 13 votes. So, over here at DetroitLions.com, our boy Tim, 2020 Lions Chargers Hall of Fame game observations. It was a tough start. Grant Stuard had been interesting to watch in special teams and training camp. He plays like he's shot out of a cannon with his hair on fire, both as a cover man and a kickoff returner. Unfortunately, the first time he touched the ball in the game's opening kickoff, he fumbled it away, giving the Chargers the ball at the Lions' 28. He said after the game it's something he'll learn from, absorbing the contact with the ball all the way to the ground. Stuard got another opportunity on the next kickoff and had a nice 36-yard return up the middle. Early impact. Rookie wide receiver Isaac Teslaa made a quick impact with back-to-back catches of 24 and 22 yards to give the offense a little life after a slow start. Teslaa has been a friendly target for Lions quarterbacks through the first couple of weeks of camp with his size, speed, and catch radius combo. Let's go ahead and take a look at those catches, huh? Let's go ahead and check these out after this ad. I'm going to mute this ad. We got to get a Discover ad. We got to get a Discover ad because, you know, got to live on credit. American consumerism. Let's go. Let's go. Another ad. Another ad. Who would have thunk it? Another ad. And what a I hate this ad. Like, what a beta male bitch. And like, I hate to tell him, dude, but you're dating a dyke. That chick's a dyke with the cat.
Can't explain that, but really happy to be a part of that.
And your brother Shannon said in his 2011 induction speech, I am the only pro football player.
Add a little shoulder into him.
I am the only pro football player.
That's how you finish a run.
And you had so many incredible moments on the field. What was the best moment of your career?
Got some time, Kyle Allen.
First game. Because that was all I ever wanted to do. So I just wanted to play in the NFL.
Hell yeah. Isaac Teslaa guy. He got a little juice. He's got a little pop to him. You know what I'm saying? He's got a little shake and wiggle. He's got some good route running, some soft hands. Veteran presence last season proved how important depth can be. And I thought a few veterans showed up for the Lions Thursday night game. Cornerback Rock Ya-Sin, running back Craig Reynolds, Stuard, and defensive line Pat O'Connor got the opportunity to play early and showed up making plays. That's good to see early on because at some point it is likely the Lions will need them to step in and play important reps. The pass rush. I was closely watching Detroit's edge rushers Thursday night as the team is still trying to figure out the pecking order and playing reps behind Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport. It wasn't really a productive night for the group overall as they didn't record a sack or quarterback hit in the contest. Quarterback play. I thought Kyle Allen and Hendon Hooker did some good things, but the 3 turnovers between them were too many. There were a couple off throws from both players as well. I didn't expect both guys to learn from the tape I do expect both guys to learn from the tape and be better next Friday against the Falcons. Effort play. Stuart had early mistakes with the fumble, but he also made a play late in the first quarter that showed exactly the kind of effort he plays with. The Los Angeles started a drive on their 20-yard line, and the first play of the drive, Lions defensive coordinator Calvin Shepard dialed up a blitz for Stuard. He rushed up the middle and was cut down by the running back, but still raced to his feet and was able to sack Chargers quarterback Trey Lance. Stuard finished with 4 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and a sack. Kickoff adjustments. we got our first look at the newest changes to the dynamic kickoff rule, first implemented in 2024 to promote kickoff returns while continuing to make the play safer. We saw only one touchback on a kickoff in the contest. There was also a penalty on Detroit's Jake Bates big leg ballad of Jake Bates for landing a ball short of the landing zone that is from the 20-yard line to the goal line. That awarded Chargers the ball at their own 40-yard line. Yeah, mistakes really just fucked us all night long. New virtual measurements. We also got our first look at the new virtual measurement system for first downs, which allowed the NFL to accurately measure the distance between the spotted ball and the line to gain without having to bring out the chains. It seemed to have gone off without a hitch Thursday and should help keep the flow of the game going without lengthy measuring timeouts. The big hit came from Ian Kennelly, was a tryout player at rookie minicamp who impressed Lions coaches enough with his size and instincts at safety to sign him to the 90-man roster. Kennelly, 6'2", 205 pounds, showed off the strength and leverage in the third quarter when he came up on a body-slammed Chargers running back Naeem Miller-Hines. I'll have a Miller-Hines, please. I'll have Naeem Miller-Hines. Light. Fourth down, Lions head coach Dan Campbell is known for aggressiveness, and that certainly is not going to change in preseason. Detroit's first touchdown Thursday night was set up by Allen scrambling for first down on a 4th and 3, and Allen hitting rookie wide receiver Dominic Lovett on a 2-yard pass on 4th and 1 on the same drive. Hooker failed to get a first down on a 4th and 3 play at the Chargers' 49-yard line in the fourth quarter, coming up a yard short on a scramble attempt. He also threw an interception on 4th and 2 play where Lovett had a chance to make a play, but he had the football taken away from him. So, yep, some observations, not so great. Not so great. Some bright spots, but not so great. Some bright spots, but not what we want. And this article right here, Lions have painfully obvious roster moves to make Hall of Fame game, or after the Hall of Fame game. Doing any advancements in the chat? Nope, we're doing good on the poll. Let's just keep going through. We are running a little bit late today, guys. We are running a little late, and I'm sorry. Okay. The reality of the situation is, after what transpired last night in Canton, Ohio, I had to stop and see a podiatrist before I went to a proctologist, before I could see an orthopedic surgeon to see what all it would take to have Trey Lance's foot removed from my ass. The Detroit Lions have one preseason game under their belt, with the team dropping the Hall of Fame game against the Los Angeles Chargers. The secondary had their struggle defensively, and special teams certainly had a moment they immediately wanted back with the kickoff the season. But was the quarterback play that stuck out the most for Lions, who were promised a fun QB2 battle between Kyle Allen and Hendon Hooker. Yes, we were sold. It's going to be a fun little game between Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen. We should have no worries. Allen sailed multiple passes in the first half of the contest, threw 2 interceptions, and generally just didn't look settled into a rhythm on offense for Detroit. Hooker, who took over from Allen in the second half, had next to no time to pass behind the offensive line. He also threw for no touchdowns, relying, again, big surprise, relying on his legs to make plays. Bjorn, hey, dude, do not get up there. Thank you. With almost zero offense generated by either quarterback, one thing made itself very clear in the very first game of the Lions season. Detroit has a backup quarterback problem they still need to resolve, and the answer wasn't on the field on Thursday night. Lions have a QB2 problem. Detroit needs to see Detroit needs to see much more from Allen or Hooker in their second preseason matchup against the Atlanta Falcons. That's an obvious statement. Without either one producing anything promising for an entire preseason, the Lions could be in some serious trouble if they imagine a season where JG16 goes down. Knock on wood. Teddy Bridgewater is not walking through that door. Of course, it's far too soon to write either off. Communication issues some reporters shared on social media during the game have been persistent between the offense during training camp and the sidelines. Those were evident during Hooker's reps early, with a timeout called to prevent a delay of game penalty, which led to a 4-and-out possession. There existed a market for Hooker prior to this contest. He had been linked to teams like the Chicago Bears and New York Jets for obvious reasons, coach-related reasons. Those suitors would have made sense if Hooker hadn't slightly tanked his stock during the Hall of Fame game by looking out of sorts in the pocket under pressure. However, the Lions would need a reliable backup play, and the team will need to be getting somebody back to replace Hooker's role if they're going to be if they're willing to go through that a transition like that. Malik Willis from Green Bay or Tyler Heineke with the Los Angeles Chargers could be worth a look if Hooker or both do not pan out for the preseason reps. Yeah, how weird would it be if Malik Willis ended up being our backup quarterback, going from being projected as the number 2 overall pick by the Lions instead of Aiden Hutchinson, kind of bounced around. And let's be real, Malik Willis kind of has shown some flashes. I mean, he's not bad. I think he's way better than Hendon Hooker at this point in their career. Tyler Heineke, you know what you're going to get out of him. It's probably a little bit better than Kyle Allen, but not that much better. I'm not feeling very comfortable about the backup quarterback spot. How do you guys feel, chat? How do you feel about the backup QB spot? The Chargers were much more physical than us. They were much more ready to go. Safety battle between Jackson and Ian Kennelly is going to be fun to watch. Both are certified dogs. Brent, you're right, dude. That was something that was a little bit under the radar to watch. Right now, I liked what I seen out of Dan Jackson, but I liked the physicality that I seen out of Kennelly. I really like that lick he laid on the running back, dude. That was nice. Good morning, Jeanette. Both guys had issues, but Hooker looked confused at time. Allen needs to stop throwing to the defense. Yes, exactly. Jeanette, you're right. Hendon Hooker looked lost. He looked confused. He looked scared at times. And Kyle Allen, you know what? Maybe Kyle Allen needs to wear like a tinted visor so that teams can't see where he's just staring at, because that's his problem. He just stares at the receiver he's going to throw the ball to. He just stares that guy down. He just locks in. You know what I mean? He just locks in. What do you say, guys? We're already 2 minutes over. I started late because I had to see a podiatrist before I went to the proctologist about an orthopedic surgeon to see about getting my Trey Lance's foot removed from my ass after last night. You guys want to watch this? Let's watch Dan Campbell's media availability after the game. Let's see what Dan Campbell had to say about everything. All right, let's do this.
All right, first one out of the gate. The story of the game is we turned it over 5 times, and then we didn't get any takeaways. So that's hard, you know. Just from that standpoint, when you put your defense in that kind of position, man, that's tough. We did have 2 sudden change stops, which is really good defensively. You know, I thought we handled the run pretty good. You know, there was a couple of runs that kicked out of there, but, I mean, really, they rushed for 2.8, so that's pretty good. I mean, we held in there. You know, and then offensively, like we said, it's hard to get in a rhythm when you turn the ball over like that, or you're getting ready to start a drive and we kick off return, punt return. So just that was kind of the nature of it. We're excited to watch some of these guys, see how they did, grade the tape, learn from it, grow from it. That's what it's about. So, next one.
You guys pride yourself on special teams. Is that maybe one of the disappointing things coming out of this game? Just a couple turnovers, the illegal kick, the illegal touching, kind of a little bit sloppy.
Yeah. I mean,
talk about sloppiness.
Yeah, you don't want all those. That's what I said. You get caught in the
penalties.
You know, all right, we need to see some of these guys. You know, you got to put them out there and you know, cut them loose and let them go play. You also want to win the game. You also want to play really well, you know, and we just, you know, we didn't do that. So that's the frustrating part of it is that, you know, but like I said, we're going to learn from it. We're going to be able to coach off of this.
And we do have the coaching staff in place. We should not be pulling the ripcord. This is not a panicking situation. Don't fucking freak out, right? Don't freak out. We're good. We got the coaching staff in place. We're going to polish it up. It's fine. We're fine.
Tape and help some of these guys get better, and that'll serve us well. And I would expect us to play much better next week. These guys that played in this game.
Yeah.
First thoughts on quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, I think for both of them it was up and down. You know, I thought Kyle. The hard thing is Kyle had 2 bad plays, but those are 2. You know, those were 2 turnovers, and. But I thought, man, he ran the offense. He did so many good things, but you know, it's hard when those are the 2. You know, so. But the guy's a pro. He's played ball. He knows how to run a huddle and communicate, things of that nature. He did make some good throws in there.
he was brought in to elevate Hendon Hooker and push Hendon Hooker, and I think you're seeing him pass Hendon Hooker. I don't think Hendon Hendon Hooker understood the assignment.
And then Hooker, same thing, man. Hooker got to a couple of good checks for us. You know, he saw it, saw the defense, audibled on his own, which was outstanding. So that was promising. You know, but he was. This
is the nice thing about Dan Campbell and our coaching staff. They see the good, whereas I'm kind of being a bit of a negative Nancy, dude. He's being a positive Paul, you know.
Up and down too, you know. And it's hard too. I mean, I don't want to make excuses for him, but when you come in and you're down 2 scores and you try to get him in a rhythm, but you also, do we push it? Do we not? You know, that's not the easiest thing either for him, you know, to get a guy in a rhythm when you're kind of where we were at. But it was up and down. I was encouraged with some of the plays that he made. I thought that was kind of some next level stuff for him. Shows he's grown, so that was good.
You guys, you first look at some of your rookies, maybe just love it in Teslaa, made a couple plays there, and were productive. Just, I know you always want to watch the tape, but just maybe first thoughts of those 2 guys specifically and what you like.
Well, Teslaa made some plays. Look, they both did. You know, and I just go back to Lovett's 2 plays, 2 negative plays. He's going to learn from those. You know, college, you're making those plays. You're snatching them. You're going to continue to go. Well, this one, man, a guy's coming to knock it down out of your hands, and the other one, you know, you got it, and then he just takes it from you. You know, just squeezing the ball, get it tucked as fast as possible. It's just one of those emphasis deals. He's going to be better for this. You know, you hate that you got to learn it the hard way, but he will be better. But you know, we wanted to get Teslaa and Lovett the ball. We wanted to get these receivers some throws, you know. And I wish we could have gotten, you know, all those guys some throws. But it was good to see. I did think those 2 guys showed up.
And a lot of the emphasis for us is sometimes not the outlet too bad too. Rocky City, some of the plays he did well. Stuart, the sack that he had, flipped outside and popped it back up.
Yeah.
Jackson down. Just wondering, talk about maybe what you had to those guys. What was a big play?
Well, we like those 2 guys, you know, especially here we are. I don't even know how long we've been in camp anymore, but those are 2 guys that have shown up to us and really have improved over.
I agree with Brent DeWitt. He's got a solid take here. Next game for Hooker is do or die, in my book. No improvement equals dump him. He's had long enough. And if if Hooker plays like shit preseason week 2, you got to get somebody else in there because your time window for them to pick up the offense and compete is even more condensed. So Hendon Hooker, it's time to put on your big boy shit and pants, shit or get off the pot, dude. It's time. The time is now. The time is now.
You know, whatever that's been, 8 practices or so. So. And then for them to come out here and make some plays, that's good. And quite honestly, it's kind of what we expect. You know, I kind of expect that out of both of those guys. So it's encouraging. You know, they both, man, they bust their rear. They give you everything they got. They play hard. They practice hard. They learn. They don't make the same mistake twice. And those are the type of guys you're looking for.
First time with Shep and John, just the operation of it, the headset where guys were, how the information flowed in, the pace.
Well, honestly, I thought it went better than I thought it.
Bro, Sam, you nailed it, dude. He won't let it. Dan knows how to talk positively about his players. Even if they sucked, he won't throw his players under the bus. That's true. Dan is the first guy to take ownership of decisions and things that happen throughout the game. And I've said it for a long time. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are very. They put it like front and center that they're trying to protect their players in their development. You know what I mean? That's why we kind of keep our rookies and slowly expose them unless they are absolutely ready to go. He's not going to run them down. He's going to positively build them up in the press. I say F it, go with Brad's 3 boys at QB. If they fail or get hurt, make the call for Mr. Cousins. Kirk Cousins, no shit. Hey, it'd be a pretty high asking tag, but Atlanta would be on the hook for the majority of that money, and Cousins would be, I mean, you know what you're getting out of him. You know what I'm saying? Keep the locker room healthy. Hell yeah, it keeps the locker room healthy. We don't tolerate toxicity. That's why we go after the players that we go after. That's why we pass on guys like Jalen Carter. Didn't try and make a move for like Jahad Campbell. It's the psych profile. It's the battery that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell put through our players.
It would. For the first time out of the gate, I thought it flowed pretty dang good. I was like, okay, this is good. So, you know, there's a couple of things that we can clean up and get better at, but man, I thought it went pretty dang well, you know, so that's good.
Daniel was going to need depth in any football season. You guys especially needed it down the stretch last year. How much is that the message to these guys in game one for the preseason right now?
Well, honestly, it's not the message yet. The message is, man, when you get an opportunity to make your plays, you got to make your plays, but you got to do it within the system. You got to do it with the fundamentals you've been taught, and play your rules. Make sure you play your responsibility. And now you got one on tape. We got to clean this up. We have to get significantly better, you know. We got to coach them better, and they got to play better next week. They got to practice better, and then they got to play better next week. You know, I got to coach better. So I want to give these guys a chance to play better.
Down, and we are dog.
So we will,
F-U-C-T.
and that really is the message right now.
F-U-C-T. Fuck.
So how do you judge how big a concern is something?
Hell, bring in Bryce Purvis.
Yeah,
Let's
concern's
go.
not the right word. It's just more, look, we have our own standards, and it doesn't matter if you just walked in the door or, you've only practiced, you've had 10 practices, it's just, look, we got to take care of the football, and it doesn't matter. You're wearing Lions gear, you got to take care of the ball, man, or it's going to be hard to keep you around, and so it's a hard lesson to be learned out here like that, but it's also, we got to put a little pressure, got to apply a little pressure in a good way.
We have the opportunity to get better.
In a good way, so we get better, man. We got to put some urgency on this. It is early, but it's never too early to get better, right?
Give Uncle Rico a call. The motherfucker.
Your perspective on just this whole experience of being a Hall of Fame game, what you take away from that?
Well, honestly, I mean, we were in Cleveland last night, and then we drove in today. It all happened fast. I know this. Those guys that are going in, man, well, those are outstanding players. And that's, I did tell the team before we went out,
All
man.
right, we're not talking about Hall of Fame stuff. All right, guys, so we made it to Friday. It's the end of the show. I'm going to ask the chat, those of you guys who are still here, pretty much the regulars. You want to see what I'm going to go buy this weekend? I'm going to go buy a new toy this weekend. You guys want to see it? What do you say, chat? It's been a good week, right? It's been a good week. It's been a good first week of 5 days out of the week. And I'm going to go buy a new toy. You guys want to see it? All right, I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it with you guys. This is what I'm going to go buy. I'm going to go buy me a Gucci Glock, or a budget Glock. This is the Daria Arms DY9. Look at this, this is this guy's build, right? Oops, I don't want to get copyrighted. So this is the Daria Arms DY9. It comes... Now, what you're looking at right here is what's called the island build. So it's got an island ported, quad-ported barrel with striations on the slide. That's a aftermarket slide that you can get from Daria Arms. But it comes with pretty much a Gen 3 Glock slide on top. So Daria is more of a long gun manufacturer, you know what I'm saying? And this is their first foray into, let's be honest, it is a Glock clone as Glock clone can get. The reason that I like it is all the reviews I've seen about this gun is the trigger is better than the standard issue Glock. It has about a 4.1 pound trigger pull weight. The wall on it is nice, and the reset is nice and short, real clean. There's not a lot of sponge, according to everything. Has a built-in gas pedal on the frame, ambidextrous on both sides. I'm just kind of showing you this image right here because it's about the cleanest picture I can find. The one thing that I like about it is it takes Glock, it takes 17 and 19 mags. The 17-round magazine fits a little bit better because what I like about this is it comes stock with a mag well. Obviously, it's detachable, but it comes stock with this mag well already on it. Now, it's got fiber optics sights on it. It's now coming because they moved a manufacturer that was originally a Turkish-made gun, right? The Daria Arms. It was imported by Rock Island Armory. They now manufacture this gun. Check it out, boys. You Florida boys. In Jacksonville, Florida. So this is now an American-made pistol. It comes with 3 different sizes of adjustable back straps. Look at the stencil or the grips on the hand. The pistol itself right there is nice. The trigger guard is nice. It's even got stenciling on the front for you finger forward trigger shooters. Comes with a 2-clip Picatinny rail, and I really like that mag well that's on it. Now, what's insane about this? This fucking gun is coming in under $300. And I know, like, look, this is kind of my thing. I'm struggling to get over the fact that all the reviews are saying this gun punches way outside of its price point. The reason that I want to get this is I have a feeling that the market will adjust, and this gun will end up being a $500 gun eventually. And if I'm able to pick this up first edition, well, it's technically the second edition. The first edition was made in Turkey, and it wasn't optics ready. The second issue, made here in Jacksonville, Florida, is optics ready. I'm really thinking I need to get on this gun before the market goes up on it. I want to get it while I can still essentially steal the motherfucker. And you can order magazines from the distributor they'll mail you to, and you can order for $2.99. You can get that island ported slide shipped right from the manufacturer, and that is even without the island slide on it. Everyone talks about how just the ergonomics of the gun, it shoots incredibly flat, but once you put in that ported island barrel on it, it's one of the flattest shooting guns essentially stock out of the box. And it takes a lot of, like I said, it takes the majority Glock mags. So if you guys have some extra Glock mags sitting around, enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? But I'm probably going to buy them from the manufacturer because with the magwell assembly on it, if you go with a 15-round Glock magazine, you kind of got to give it a little bit more oomph to get it up inside that magwell, because with that magwell, from the manufacturer, the 17-round has a little bit of a lip around it to compensate for that. But if you go with the larger 17-round magazine, it sits perfectly right inside that magwell. You know what I mean? And I feel like I need to get on this gun before the price shoots up. You can find them at most distributors. Some FFLs, your bigger box stores, have different variants exclusively to them. Dunham's is selling them where it's basically an all silver model. You can pick them up in black as well. I'm looking at going to this place up the road, up here, up in Lansing. It's called Sportsman's Warehouse, and they have it, but it's OD green and black, which I like that a little bit more. I like the OD green and black. You know what I'm saying? I think that might be a little bit more fun to own. The thing is that I've never bought from them before. I've never bought Daria before. I'm a Smith & Wesson guy, and I'm struggling with the price point, because at the same time right now they've got a Gearson MC9 with an optics already with an optic on it for about $389 on sale up there right now, which I was kind of thinking maybe the Gearson. And then they also have a Springfield XD Mod 3 with an optic already on it for about the same price. The thing is I really want to get this island fucking ported slide, this island barrel assembly, and I just can't get over the fact how much I like this magwell. I love the just built-in magwell, and when I look at the grips between the three pistols, this pistol has the best grip on it. It comes in at, I think, about, the barrel length is like 3.8 inches. Overall length of the gun is about, I think they said it's like 4.2 height, about 6 inches long, which ideal polymer frame, so it's a little bit lighter than my regular EDC. The hard part is nobody's making any holsters for it yet. So my question to you guys, I guess, is, do I go with the gun that I think that I really, really want at the price point that I want, but I have to invest a little bit more later on for light if I want to put optics on it, and then the upgraded rail, right? Do I want to go that route, which altogether should put me about at just under $700, not including a new holster, right? Or do I go and get the Gearson or the Springfield Armory already with a red dot on it, right? But it doesn't have the drop pins. It doesn't have the slide that I want. It doesn't have the magwell. It doesn't have the aftermarket island ported slide that I really want. And if I'm being honest, what is your guys' take? What's your take on red dots on handguns? I've never shot a red dot on a handgun, and I don't know how to feel. I see some guys who are like, yes, it's all that I use. You see a lot of these gun tubers using them. But then you also see a lot of guys that are like, no, what the fuck's the point? You know what I mean? It's an entirely different way of shooting. Do any of you guys have red dots? Do any of you guys have red dots? How do you feel? What's your take? Tell me what's your take. Come on, talk to me, chat. Watch some SRS after this. Hell, oh, man, you guys kind of like this, huh? Yeah, dude, Mr. Troy City, pew pew, you got it, bud. Sweet, Mom. Your old school Army, you favor your 1911. Hey, Brent DeWitt, it's all good, man. It's all good. I'm looking. So after I get the new EDC, I'm going to be looking to get, a little bit more of a fancy. I need a new nightstand gun, and I'm probably going to end up getting myself a really, really, really a Cadillac 1911 with all the bells and whistles. You know what I'm saying, dude? I love it. The 1911 is so classic, dude. Now, do you like your 1911, or do you like to shoot the 2011 1911s, the double stack? You look like a capitalist firearms instructor that loves the... Thanks, Sam. Is it the glasses, bro? Is it the shooting glasses? Because I'm going to be real. These are just my studio glasses. I'm not shitting you, bro. I wear orange-tinted shooting glasses all the time. Like 99% of the time, I'm wearing some type of orange shooting glasses. For one, they're shatterproof. So I have this fear of eye damage, so I like to wear shatterproof glasses. And two, for whatever reason, the orange tint on shooting glasses, I feel it eliminates shadows and kind of puts things into almost a natural state of high, it takes natural and puts it into a slightly higher definition. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I can see better. Maybe it's just placebo effect. Maybe I'm just bananas. Bunch of Florida Ranges. Got to get it before it gets popular, Jeanette. You know what I'm saying, dude? Living the city. Chase has swords. Hey, dude, I got swords too, bro. Swords and I got weapons all over, bro. I'm fucking crazy. Red dot on your AR, exactly. So, well, Sam, that's the thing. On your AR, it makes sense. But no, all right. So, Brent, you've never used a red dot on a handgun. You know what I'm saying? Do I want to put a red dot on it? That's more money. You know what I'm saying? That's more money that I got to spend, and it's also going to add more weight. And why I want to go after this Daria DY9 is I'm trying to lighten the load, because right now I've been carrying. If I want to go inside the waistband, I carry a Shield M&P 40, which is super, super lightweight. I just hate shooting a 40 out of that little bitty-ass fucking frame. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. And then 9 times out of 10, you'll catch me carrying a Smith & Wesson 5906, which is a beautiful, classic firearm. It's just heavier than fuck. It's just heavier than shit. Oh, you have an imitation Highlander sword? Hell yeah, bro. That's what's up, Brent. I got a couple katanas and a naginata. Full tang, battle ready. Let's go. Imported. I was a dork, man. I was a dork. So, all right. So I'm not stupid for kind of wanting to get away from red dot. Like, is the red dot that important? I'm more about putting a flashlight on the front. I feel like. Okay, I feel like in a situation where I need to use it, a flashlight is going to be better practically as far as actual application and necessity. I will benefit more from a flashlight than a red dot. Now, I'm not saying it's one or the other, but obviously I should probably look for a flashlight on the front more so than a red dot, because I already shoot iron sights. I am used to shooting iron sights on handguns. I've never shot red dot on handgun before. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Beantown! What's up, brother? Dude, you showed up. We got a little bit of extra show going on. We're talking guns, brother. We're talking guns. We're talking guns right now. Sounded like the sheriff of Baghdad. Hell yeah, man. Well, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. So, you guys think the Daria is the way to go? You think the Daria is the way to go? It's a Glock clone. It's a Glock clone. All right, let's just watch this real quick.
So I wanted to take a few minutes and talk on this upper assembly here for the DY9. This is the first impressions.
He's just going to talk about the island barrel. See, that's the problem is all these gun tubers got island barrels. All right, so here, see this guy, this is the stand. This is basically what I'm. Well, I guess it's Coyote. I'm going for the OD green. You guys want to stick around? We'll watch one more. You want to watch one more? Do you? Let's watch this. Let's watch this. Let's watch this guy. I've never seen this guy. Let's watch Chris.tv. Woo! Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Did you see the look at that island barrel? Look at this. Look at that. Look at them ports, baby. Did you see them ports? How flat that son of a bitch shoots, yo. Oh, he had a fucking jam. But I've seen that happen on this already. He's probably shooting Winchester whites. Everybody I've seen that's had a malfunction is shooting Winchester whites. Why? Why is music playing? Why was music playing?
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't joined us before, my name is Albert from the HOF.
Sorry, I just clicked on this to get it off. To get the music. Yeah, I just had to get it off. Get it? I got a 37 free DMC. Hell yeah, Beantown. That's what's up. John McPhee is the sheriff of Baghdad. Sell some cool tech shit, huh? John McPhee? Am I saying that right? Phee. All right. Sheriff of Baghdad. Cool. Hey, thanks, Mr. Detroit City. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So you guys think I should go with it? Everybody's just got these long-ass reviews. There you go. This guy, this review is pretty... I like this guy's takedown of stuff. Let's watch
In this video, we're going to take a look at this gun right here, which you might not have heard of, but once we take a close-up look, you may recognize that it has a lot of similarities to a very popular gun that I'm sure you have heard of and seen. This is the Daria DY9. It's a 9mm compact pistol. Daria is a Turkish brand gun manufacturer. Models of these have been around for a little while. They were imported by Rock Island Armory, but now since Daria has a manufacturing plant here in the U.S., you can get these all U.S. made.
So this is the standard. See, it's not the ported, it's not the upgraded island barrel. This is just the standard barrel, so that's what she looks like coming out of
SRP
stock.
of these on Daria's website are $3.99. They do come in this flat dark earth version that I have here and in all black. You do have an option to get the gun that has the 10-round
bro.
magazine.
If I ever get up there, dude, I'll bring a couple thousand. You bring a couple thousand. We'll do some meltdowns, bro. We'll straight up push them, see what we can do. Fuck yeah, brother. I love shooting with people. I love shooting, dude.
Or if you still live in a free state like I do, you can get the standard 15-round magazine gun. Before we take a close-up look of the gun, let's see what you can expect to get in the package. It does come in this nice plastic case here, and once you open it up, you can see it does have some nice foam inserts where everything sits in and is protected. It does come with a user manual. You do get the firearm itself and one magazine. That is one thing about this price point is they do only come with one magazine, but they do have options for additional magazines on their website. They have the 10-round, 15-round.
I like this guy.
They also have the 17-round and the Fun Stick 33 rounds. You'll see it does come with 2 optic plates, and the Allen key down here for that is down here. It does come with some cleaning tools, so you get a brush and then a cleaning rod. You also get a total of 4 different back straps. You have a small, medium, large, and extra large, so if you want to change those out, you have that option as well. But coming in at the $3.99 price point, I do think you get a lot for the money.
I can get them. I can get. All right, he's saying $3.99. I can get this fucker at Sportsman's Warehouse for $2.89 today.
Here,
right
let's
now.
go ahead and take the
right
gun
now,
out
I
and
can
take
go
a
and get this
close-up
fucker
look
for
of it, and you'll be able
$2.89.
to probably right off the bat see what gun it is modeled after. So here's a close-up look of
Damn,
the gun itself. It
Beantown,
does
for
have
real?
a metal slide and a polymer frame, chambered in 9mm. It does weigh 1.81 pounds. The barrel
No shit,
length
Mr.
inside
Detroit
here
City.
is 3.8
Right next to where she's
inches.
being held,
The
huh?
overall length of the gun is 6.
Hey, man, do you guys know of any, like, tactical courses or shit around here in the Michigan area? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to start doing some shit, bro.
0.9 inches. The width of the
Like, I want to train, man. Shit's about to... I want to be more ready. You know what I'm saying? Is that crazy? Am I crazy?
gun is 1.16 inches.
Woo,
and the
look at
overall
that sexy
height of the gun
beast.
is 4.56.
It damn near looks like a Glock with a top cut, like a haircut of a SIG.
6 inches. Starting on the slide here, it is made of 4140 steel, and it does have front and rear slide
I'm
serrations.
sure they do, bro.
Now, these
Florida's
aren't
free as
the
hell.
most pronounced slide serrations, so if you do have wet hands, that might be a little bit harder
I'm sure
to
it was
grip, or if you're
Beantown,
using
bro.
this for competition.
I'm actually looking. So while I'm at Sportsman's today or tomorrow, I'm probably gonna go tomorrow. I'm gonna ask them because they're FFL. I want to know, will they import or will they let me have Palmetto State shipped to them, because I don't like the places around here so much. But if the place I'm going to, if they import from Palmetto State, I'm gonna start getting uppers and lowers and just building my own.
Shooting, you may need to come up with something a little bit different because they are not as aggressive as I would like them to be, but it is nice that they did add front and rear slide serrations. If you look at the overall width of the slide, it is kind of thick and boxy like a Glock style pistol. It does have cuts here on the edges, so it kind of rounds out the edges a little bit so they're not as sharp.
Yeah, like a haircut of a SIG. You know what I'm saying? It's got like that, dare I say, P fucking 320 haircut almost.
But the overall look of the slide as you're looking
for a Lego gun, though, a $300 Lego gun? Come on, man.
it over, it really reminds you of a Glock style pistol. On the top of the slide, you do have this cutout here for your optics, but when you're not running a plate on here, you just have this cover here, and you do have the 2 Allen key screws right here to where you can swap this out with one of the 2 plates depending on the manufacturer of the sight. And the plates are compatible with quite a few various optics right here. I will put it on the screen. So that's one thing that you're seeing a lot of these new gun companies come out with, especially in these compact models, are optic sight cutouts. And moving on to the sights, you have True Glow front and rear sights. You have green on the back and then a reddish orange on the front. And these are really nice over some of the other standard ones that you get that are either white dot or with a Glock. You have that U-notch in the back. These are really pronounced and easy to pick
guns,
up.
brother.
I really like having the contrast.
Looks like your
colors
daughter's
so
sick.
you can really see the front sight through the.
Thanks, Brent. Me and your daughter, I like girl guns, apparently.
Those 2 rear sights. The rear sight is adjustable, or you can.
But hey, shout out to your daughter, bro. Exercising that Second Amendment right, carrying a force multiplier, something that punches holes in dudes' foreheads from 100 yards away.
You can also remove these with any other options of your choosing.
Bro, did you guys know that during the initial invasion of Iraq, the U.S. Marine Corps was getting so many goddamn headshots that the U.S. Congress or the Department of Defense had to investigate that because they thought we were committing war crimes and the Marines were fucking executing prisoners, but they weren't. They were just such savages. They were getting so many fucking headshots on these dudes.
Moving on to the frame, it is a polymer frame, and at the very front you do have a nice rail system so you can mount a light or any accessories right there. And then moving over here on both sides, you do have a place for your index finger that is indented and easy to grab because it does have some sand texturing right here. So it is a nice grip whether you're left or right-handed. You have that option on both sides. And very similar to the Glock style pistols, you have your takedown levers on both sides here. They do stick out just enough so you're able to grab those. And then you have your slide lock right here in the back. And on your magazine release right here, it does have a little bit of texturing on the front side, and it is ambidextrous, so you could swap it out to either side. And it sticks out just enough to where you're able to easily press that magazine release button to release the magazine and not so far out that you're gonna get it caught or accidentally hit that. And then you do have a flared mag well down here for easy unloading and unloading of that magazine. So we'll go ahead and take the magazine right here, and you'll see it easily loads in, and then you hit that magazine release button and it drops right out.
That's a 15-round magazine.
So no issues there. Magazine fits in there real nice. Moving on to the grips. The grips kind of remind me of the original XDM grips here. You can see some of the texturing on the front here of the original XDMs, which they don't make these anymore, but it kind of reminds me a lot of these.
Yeah, the other thing that I'm kind of hesitant about Springfield is this. I've never shot with a goofy fucking handle safety like that. 200 years, boots on the ground, XP include many solo missions in the sand, a lot of crap. No shit, dude. You have to check that out. So my daughter is 10 and a half, so no guns yet, but she has 2 belts. Hey, Chase, I told you, bro. You let me know, dude. You let me know if you want to do some shooting. I'll walk you through everything, bro. So like I'm actually like thinking about getting just some smaller handguns and a couple of smaller rifles chambered in 22 long rifle. One, because I like plinking, but two, I feel like those are easy platforms or easy calibers to introduce people to. So if you ever want to, man, I'm totally down to help teach you how to shoot, bro. You know what I'm saying? Son-in-law was in Iraq and Afghanistan. He was no shit, Brent. God damn, brother. That's what's up. That's what's up. Had to have something I guarantee nobody else has. An extra dick. You got an extra dick, Beantown. Dude, we know you got an extra dick. Hell yeah.
But Springfields are a little bit more aggressive.
Beantown, did you get something from overseas? Ah, Cannon, bro. Dude, I love videos where guys build fucking cannons. So, like, I do metal work, man. I would love to be able to build something like that, dude. That's fucking awesome, bro. Like, people look at me sideways when I'm just like, dude, I just want some property. Like, what I really want to do is, y'all ever watch Honest Outlaw? He's got, like, I want to make a nice, like, build a berm with my steel behind it, right? So I can move from target to target with various targets. And then I want to have a nice, like, 10 or 15 by 10 by 15 yard gravel, like, lot that I can walk about, move about, put different obstructions for me to move around, that type of shit, so we can get into more tactical shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love shooting paper, but I don't want to just go and sit at a bench and bang, okay, bang, okay. It's like, no, I want to run drills, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to run drills. The more accustomed you are to things, the better you will be. You know what I'm saying?
Aggressive.
And we need to advocate for people to train with their weapons regularly. Train with your weapons regularly, and you'll know what to do.
Whereas the ones here on the Daria aren't too aggressive. You can see it does have some on the front here. You got a little bit on the side with some sand texturing, and then you have them here on the back again as well.
Pretty aggressive.
And you also
back
have
straps.
some light texturing on the front of the trigger guard. Now, I do like the look of the texturing on this pistol, but I do wish it was a little bit more aggressive. I wish they did a little bit more with the sandpaper grip, similar to like your Smith & Wesson M&P
Jesus
2.0s.
Christ, Beantown, how'd
really
you get
love the
that
way those
fucking
feel.
thing?
You can get a nice firm grip on them, even
Holy
with
shit.
wet hands. This, I feel like, even with dry hands, it is a little slippery. And I feel like once your hands get a little bit sweaty or even wet, you are going to struggle with getting a good grip on this. I do wish these were a little bit more pronounced, similar to the Springfield XDM there, but still like the aesthetics of it. You may need to add some Teflon tape there or something just to get a little bit better grip if you are going to be using this for any type of competition shooting.
Detroit,
that being said,
seriously?
it does feel comfortable in your hand with not being
Talk
overly
about
aggressive.
taking something
So
home
it's just
with
gonna
you.
depend
No
on
shit,
what you
brother.
prefer. But having the texturing up here for your index finger does help assist in having a good grip on the gun here. Changing out the back straps is pretty simple. You just take out these two pins here, pull this one out, and then whichever one you want to use, you just slide it in right
It's
here.
a pretty simple Lego gun. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that a pretty simple Lego gun? Let's get this fucker taken apart.
You can see we do have the gun unloaded. So we're going to pull the trigger. You do have to pull the trigger on this just like a Glock. And then you're going to pull the slide back about 1/4 of an inch. And then as you have that pulled back, you're going to pull down on both of those takedown levers. And then you're going to pull the slide forward. And the slide's going to come off the frame here. And looking at the internals right here, it does look very similar to a Glock pistol. So everything on the lower looks just like a Glock. And then we're going to go ahead and take down the slide a little bit more. So you just push in your recoil spring, that pops out, and then you're able to pull your barrel out right there. So looking at the internals of the slide, it does look very similar to a Glock style pistol. And the recoil spring does look very similar to a dual recoil spring in the Glock models.
It is.
So a lot of similarities inside the gun as in a Glock style pistol. Putting the gun back together, we're just going to reverse that process. So we're going to take the slide, drop in the barrel groove there, pull it back, and you're good to go. So let's take a look at the magazines.
Yeah, magazines. I already told you guys about the magazines.
The base plates do fit in that mag flare a little bit better than the two goes. And the base plates are a little bit different just because it does have to go into that mag well. So these do fit in that
slightly
mag
different.
Flare. It does fit in there. It just takes a little bit more force to go up in there since it doesn't sit flush with that mag flare. But it does take it. It locks into place and drops out just as nice. You can also use the Glock 17 round magazines and the fun stick size, which I have here, So this is Glock's Fun Stick magazine that you're able to lock in there, and you can see locks in there nice and tight and then drops out. So Daria does sell their own 33 round magazine. So if that's your thing to run the Fun Stick through these, you can either use the Glock ones or the ones from Daria. And that pretty much wraps it up for the tabletop review of the.
Should I buy it? Should I become the new owner of a Daria DY9? The budget Glock, the biggity budget Glock, the super budget Glock, the super budget Glock that punches outside of its weight class. I'm pretty sure I have. Pretty sure I'm going to buy it. Pretty sure I've made up my mind. Pretty sure it's going to be the Daria DY9. Yes, sir. All right, guys. That's going to do it. We ran extra late today. I appreciate all of you having a wonderful week with me, going 5 days a week. It was wonderful. It was awesome. We got a little wild with it on a Friday, so I appreciate you guys for tuning in and telling a friend, sharing this around with all your friends and family, including Nana, especially if she looks like Mary Berry. Woohoo! Send her my way, boys and girls. One last look at the poll. 17 votes. Who, if any, impressed you last night during the Lions preseason Week 1 Hall of Fame game against the Los Angeles Chargers? Rock Ya-Sin with 18% of the vote. Isaac Teslaa walking away. 59% of you said Isaac Teslaa was the man. Dominic Lovett with 6%. And then tied for second place with Rock Ya-Sin is our fan favorite, our big booty, juicy Latina AOC's Tatas. Let's go. Gonna close that poll. Ha ha, Carrie, brother. Thank you, man. I love you too, bro. That's what's up. Thank you for fucking tuning in, guys. Appreciate all of you. Have a good weekend. Stay out of trouble. Me and Hat and Boob's got a wedding to go to on Friday. She picked up a couple new suits I got to try on, so we're gonna go do that here in the next little bit. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Enjoy the weekend. Remember, Monday morning, 10 a.m. here at YouTube.com. We're gonna be getting ready for preseason action, Week 2 for Detroit down in Atlanta on Friday. We'll see you then. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Until next time, bonga bonga.